Why is the Pope so unpopular? I went down to the annual London for a Secular Europe protest, which was this year focusing on the Pope's planned visit to the UK later in the year. Here's some of the highlights. First up, here's me talking to veteran campaigner Peter Tatchell. I started by asking him why he was on the march.
We're here because we object to the idea that Pope Benedict should be accorded the honour of a state visit to Britain. We're particularly objecting to his opposition to equality for women and gay people and his opposition to the use of condoms to prevent the spread of HIV and save lives. I don't think it's right that someone with those kinds of views should be honoured with a state visit. And it's particularly objectionable that the Pope plans to, and already he's indicated that he's against our equality laws, so he's interfering in our politics. On top of that, he expects the British taxpayer to pay the cost of his visit. I think the money would be far better spent on schools.
Here with David Pollock, head of the European Humanist Federation. And why are you at the protest today?
We're very concerned about the power that the churches are getting in the European Muslims and with the Jews. And it gives them access at the highest level in the EU at a very early stage in any policy initiative, and allows them to make representations before the rest of the public get a look in.
So is this much bigger than just the Pope's visit, which many people have been motivated to come here to protest against?
Oh, it's much bigger than that, yes. Yes, there's a long history of this. The Vatican has been gradually entrenching itself in the European Union for at least 15 years, getting further advances every few years in treaties and consolidating their positions. And of course they've got the Christian Democrat parties in many European countries, which are actually, when it comes to it, a wing of the Vatican when religious interests are involved.
I'm here now with a protester. Sorry, I forgot to ask your name.
Russell.
And he's holding a big poster that says "Not Wanted" with a picture of the Pope, and underneath it says £20 million equals cost to the taxpayer. So why are you here today, Russell?
I'm here to support the principle of the separation of religious belief and politics, and specifically in this case obviously against the taxpayer funding the visit by a religious leader. We're very happy, I think, with any religious leader from any religion coming to the UK on a parishional visit, but we think that it shouldn't be funded by the taxpayer.
State funding of faith schools should be banned. End the state funding of faith schools. Secular Europe, when do we want to? Vatican. End state funding of the Pope. Was created by the dictator Mussolini on the 11th of February of 1929 with the Lateran Treaty, and since then it has gained more and more power and financial privileges on the global political scene, interfering in debates in the United Nations, especially against women's rights and gay rights. 11th of February 1929, that's why, on the anniversary of the Lateran Treaty, every year in Rome, thousands of Italians demonstrate against the Vatican and its undemocratic power. We are here to support the Italian demonstration and demand a secular Europe. We don't ask this to the Vatican. We ask it to the democratic institutions, and that's why we are here. Last year,
2001, the then Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger sent a letter to every one of about 5,000 bishops worldwide in the Catholic Church, keeping secret any accusations of child abuse by priests. It said that whatever little laws might exist in each bishop's diocese, the Church nevertheless claims all jurisdiction over its priests, specifically if their crime is sexual abuse.
No way a state, a government who's supposed to support equality, should be funding such a visit, let alone fawning over him and giving him all the trappings of the state. That is an insult to LGBT people and many others. Every time we hear about another gay bashing, or the murder of a trans person in Latin America, or a young gay man being bullied at school, every time we hear about another young man being executed in the name of Islam, or an evangelical group stoking up hatred, we have one thing to say. Let our people free!
Yes!
3 weeks ago, the Vatican announced the Pope's state visit to Britain. He, like any other person, is entitled to his free speech. He's entitled to come here. But we are also entitled to protest against what the Vatican stands for. We stand for the principle of universal human rights for every person on this planet. Every human being is entitled to full and equal rights. Thank you.
I'm here today with you in solidarity on this march, on this rally, and say no to the Vatican and no to the Pope. For all believes that in order to defend secular Europe, we must also fight against Islamism and Sharia law here in Britain. Many people do not actually... We say Sharia law is discriminatory. We say Sharia law is unfair and unjust in civil matters, whether it's marriage, whether it's inheritance or divorce. There must be one law for all, one secular law for all. Thank you for listening.
And others are joining. There's a common message that everyone is trying to put across, and you've heard it a few times, and I just want to bang on about it for one little bit more. It's basically that as a head of state, the Pope is an unsuitable guest. In protestthepope.org.uk, and we look forward to seeing you in the months to come.
This protest today is no relic of an out-of-date anti-religious dogma. It has a vital message for the future of a liberal Europe. As religion plays less and less of a role in ordinary people's lives, the Vatican is consolidating its position in the corridors of power. It's our responsibility to demonstrate that this is happening and to prevent it. Let's have a secular Europe now. No Vatican.
Yes! Secular Europe!
I want to thank you from the inspiration you gave me at this very demonstration last year, because I came away from here thinking, what can we do? We must do something really spectacular. And we did do something really spectacular, because I went to the United Nations Human Rights Council in September, and I accused the Holy See, the Vatican, of breaking 5 articles of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. And they did not even deny it.
But the £20 million might be an underestimate, because we looked at what it cost for the Pope to visit Australia last year, and it came to 200 million Australian dollars.
Ooh, shame.
That's absolutely. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely pissed off at the prospect of my hard-earned tax money being used to import this man and his bigotry and his intolerance.
Thank you for staying in this rain. My goodness, I wouldn't. No, sorry. Proclaim the heroic virtues of an earlier pope who successfully negotiated, as Peter Tatchell said, the Reich Concordat with Adolf Hitler in 1933, which effectively removed all political opposition to the growing Germany. I would just like to remind everyone that this has not been an anti-Catholic demonstration. We are, in fact, if I may be so bold as to coin a new collective noun, an enlightenment of human rights defenders. Yes! Gathered to proclaim clearly and unambiguously our belief in the virtues and pragmatic necessity of a secular Europe for the protection and benefit of all, whether we hold religious beliefs or not.
To Central London Humorist member John, unable to come for mobility problems, to send you today his message, which is: contraception may be used on every conceivable occasion.